Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of my new weekly draw stream. I'm going to come in on every Sunday and try to work for a couple hours on my comic book, showing my process, talking about my process, showing how I do pages from start to finish along those lines. But for those who don't know me, my name is Warren Brown, also known as AKA LunchBox Warren. I am the creator of the comic series, The Adventures of Sig and Joe. I am a new comic creator, and I have been working at trying to learn how to make comics for like the last 7 years. And I've been drawing most of my life, but the last 7 years has been hardcore trying to learn how to make comics. And I have 2 issues printed and out of my ongoing series, The Adventures of Sig and Joe, as well as a one-shot done called How the Squirrels Saved Longview. I've been wanting to do more live streaming to try to get out there more, help build an audience, get my products out more. Because part of the process of comic books is you want to get them out there so readers can find them. Like right now, if you want to get any of the physical copies of mine, you just have to DM me, and then we can work out through PayPal, and then I can send it off to you. Anywhere in America right now for $15. So I'm going to be working on getting websites built up and trying to do this show, make better thumbnails, to do the better headline, spruce the page up more. But as of right now, I'm just going ahead to do an episode 1 where I'll be working on issue 4 tonight and talking about my comics. Hi, Miss Sparkles. How are you doing this wonderful evening? Glad to see you here. MSK, thank you for stopping by. I'm not sure if you're still here, but thank you for stopping by. And yeah, tonight I'll be working on the pencils for issue 4. We're going to go jump into that here real quick. I'm going to have some copyright-free music playing in the background. And if you have any questions, music too loud, too low, anything along those lines, just hit me up in the comments and I can make some changes. This is just going to be a draw stream. All I want to do is talk about how to make comics and draw them, and you guys can see me working through scratch. Now, it won't always be comics. It'll be like 90% of me working on my comics, but other times I'll set up the camera over on my drawing table and I'll do a live drawing of my I'll do a live drawing doing some like art on comic book backing boards or some other stuff. I do 11 by 17s too. So yeah, it'll be mostly comics, but it'll also be drawing on the other stuff. But yeah, let's get started here and we'll get right into it. So right here is page 29 of issue 4 of my series. Issue 3 is going through its final edits and it's pretty much ready to print. And then issue 4, I'm working on pencils, and I've been started a new job, so I'm kind of slowed down a little bit but I hope to have the pencils and the artwork primarily done by the end of June. I might go into July, but I'm just kind of working on learning how to work around the new job and a new process. So I'm going to switch over here. Now I'm not going to be able to see the comments. Oh wait, hold on. Let me turn on my phone over here. Okay. Let's see here, live. So I'm going to be trying to keep an eye on my comments section the best I can. I'm going to be looking on my phone while I do that. And let's get started here. So I'm going to turn on the music. Just some lo-fi, copyright-free stuff. Okay. So the whole process on this is I go from just layouts, which are essentially script together. I'll show you a page here of a layout page, so you can see what it looks like when I first start. So I'll start here, and this is just a hand-drawn layout page that I do when I'm figuring out the layouts when I have the script about 95% done. So with my process, I'll get the script essentially done, and then I'll start doing layouts. And the reason why I say 95% done is because as I'm doing layouts, sometimes I might change the pacing of a scene or an idea, so might change the dialogue a bit. I've had to change some stuff around to make it work. So then that'll also change the dialogue on the page on the script. So I get about 95% done, then I go into layouts. I'm a firm believer in having script when you're doing layout, with your script almost done for that issue before you do layouts, because then you can have the dialogue right there with you and you're looking at it. Let me go back over here and show you what. Let's see here. And here. So I have one of these lined notebooks. So I do the layout over here, showing 2 pages, and then I put the script in for what panels and what it's going to say. So that way I know how this is going to go. Now, this is the page I'm working on right now. As you can see, it's nothing like what is on there now. It's because I changed it, because I found a better way for it to look. So that's what I did on there. Like this. Let's see here. Bop. Yeah, this is a different layout for it because I just thought it would work better than what was on there. So right now, stage goes there. That's the panel layer. And now I'll work on the robot. There we go. Okay. I hope everyone's having a good night. I'm working with a Clip Studio Paint, also known as Manga Studio. It's a really good all-around comic book making program, and I do everything in it. I even do my lettering in this program, because I do everything in my comic book. I do the artwork, the writing, the lettering, marketing. It's all a one-man show on this one. And right now, this streaming is essentially working on my trying to work on my my marketing, my getting out there more, getting people to see, and just trying to do a consistent once a week stream, and then once I get going a little bit better, doing maybe some shorter videos. I'm not sure if I want to do what I want to do yet. I'm probably going to do some process videos like how-tos, and then I'll probably do some manga review videos or something like that, because I'm reading a lot of manga. I'm also reading some mainstream stuff too, or some westerns. So I might just do my own comic book short reviews. Thank you, Miss Sparkles. How are you doing this evening, Sparkles? Right now, for this evening, I'm running solo, but in the future, I plan to bring on people, um, other artists, friends of mine, um, people like Miss Sparkles will be on probably next week if she's available, and just working on my comic and talking about working on comics. This is like my upteenth attempt at trying to do a stream show, but this time I'm just gonna stick to 1 day a week and stick to it. It's not the easiest thing getting out there, putting yourself out there, but I need to do it more and make it more available. Now, as I showed earlier, I've got issues 1 and 2 printed out in floppies, which are essentially your normal 24-page comic book, even though issue 1 and 2 are 44 pages apiece. And I'm going to start doing now. I'm going to stop printing floppies, and I'm going to start doing graphic novels. So I'm going to combine issues 1 and 2 into like 100-page graphic novel. Oh, right now I'm drawing page 29 of my comic book. This is a giant heavy loader robot that Sig and Joe are fighting during the train heist. Essentially, in the first 4 issues of my comic book, Sig and Joe are trying to plan and pull off a train heist. Essentially, the evil corporate Dab Corporation has been hiding this medicine that some of the local people need, and if the local people can't work and are sick, they lose their homes. So Sig and Joe are going out on a mission to try to steal back this medication to save these farmers. Now, this is issue 4, which is the last part of the train heist, and this is them fighting essentially the boss battle for this arc. This is a big Dab heavy loader. Dab is a big, like, Wayland Corp type kind of corporation that uses a lot of different kinds of robot drones to do all kinds of work for them. And this is an example of what would be like a bulldozer, but it's a big 3-headed, 6-armed robot. And right now, it's working as security, trying to attack Sig and Joe. Sig and Joe is essentially Aqua Teen Hunger Force meets Firefly with some Mad Max splashed in. Sig and Joe have to on the planet they live on, which is this tiny moon called the Waste Can. There are a bunch of these mining colonies, and the mining colonies are made up of these different families and these like villages that essentially working a mining prospect on this moon. Now, Dab, this evil corporation, if the miners don't keep up their quotas, Dab gets to take over their mines and kick them out. So, in this story, Dab is constantly trying to do things to hurt these miners and to have them lose their homes. Well, Sig and Joe have friends in this local mine in this area, and they're going to and they're going to work hard on trying to save these miners who all got sick due to this virus. And Dab, which has the medicine they need, is hiding all the medicine and transporting it to a warehouse on this this kind of hover train. So Sig and Joe, with their family members, U-Turn and Marv, they're trying to get onto this train, steal the medicine, and then go on. Hey, what's up, Dingus Den? How are you doing? Awesome. Thank you for stopping by. I'm just talking about my comic book series, The Adventures of Sig and Joe. And Sig and Joe was essentially like, I made the decision in 2006 to make comics. And I had these characters, Sig and Joe. I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. Getting some artwork in. Just working on the pencils for issue 4 of my ongoing series, The Adventures of Sig and Joe. Talking about the story and plot right now. But yeah, I had Joe, which is a coffee cup with arms and legs. I had that idea since college. When I got out of the army, I went to college, and in college, I started drawing because I always draw during class. I've been doing that since I was a little kid. I started drawing this coffee cup that was fighting off these Z monsters. Essentially, a professor would tell us, drink your coffee so you don't get attacked by the Z monsters. And so we would, so I started drawing this coffee cup fighting these monsters. So when I was going to make a comic, I was like, okay, well, I know how to make this. I've been drawing Joe for a long time. I started drawing Sig because I was drinking coffee and smoking at the time. And I really love anthropomorphic stories. So I went to, so I started working on, using these characters. Now, at first I was going to make a parody of, like Sig and Joe, and it was going to be more jokes. Like every issue was going to be kind of like its own skit. But I really wasn't into it, and it just wasn't coming out naturally. So I was forcing it, so I just stopped. And I kind of told myself, well, if I'm only going to make this one comic, and just, because if I don't want to do this, I'll find out while I'm making this comic. I just decided, well, I'm going to do everything that I love. And I love anthropomorphic characters. I love 90s action movies. I love sci-fi. And so I created these, and I love action comedies with heart. So I created this sci-fi world where this this hardcore government and this evil corporation are terrorizing the lives of these miners on a small little moon, and the heroes are fighting against that corporation and trying to save the miners and their homes, and it leads into this big old grand adventure. So this was my first attempt at making comics. The story is, I probably could have made an easier to sell story, but if I was only going to do this once, I wanted to do it with everything that I loved and just kind of throw everything at it. And that's what Sig and Joe is. It's just a 90s action sci-fi movie inspired anthropomorphic action comedy with heart. When you look at it, you see the characters and you think parody. When you read it, you're like, okay, there's a lot more going on here. Now, issue 1, my writing has gotten better since issue 4, or on issue 4 now. My storytelling ability is better. So you can definitely see a growth in my abilities from issue 1 to 4 once I get them all out. I fight every day not to go back and redo issue 1 just because I'm like, I can do so much better now on learning how to set up storylines with characters, with process. But at the same time, I just don't want to keep redoing number 1 over and over again. I'll just leave it as it is and just keep making better issues afterwards. So right now, I'm working on issue 4, and then after this, I'm going to do a full-fledged graphic novel on my How the Squirrels Saved Longview. The current one I have is only 17 pages, and it's kind of like a grandpa telling his son about the squirrels saving Longview. This one's going to show in depth the whole thing of how the squirrels saved Longview, and it's going to be it's my most popular thing I've done so far. I've already sold 3 times as many issues of the Squirrel Book that I have anything else. So I'm going to grow on that for a nice little 80-page one-shot. And then I'll go back and start preparing the second arc of Sig and Joe. Hey, what's up? What's up, MSK? How are you doing? Challenge Day. Nice. Thank you for joining. All you guys, thank you for joining. And I'll just be here drawing and rambling while you guys, if you guys want to lurk, have any questions. But yeah, just working on Sig and Joe. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to be going back into get the Squirrel Buck one shot done, and then get the second arc of Sig and Joe. And the second arc in Sig and Joe, I've learned from all the mistakes that I made during making the first arc of first 4 issues. So the next 4 issues are going to be a huge step up from even these 4 issues, and I'm very proud of how these 4 issues have turned out. I'm proud of where I'm at artistically, even though I still have a long way to go. I'm not nowhere near to the level that I want to be, but I am happy with where I've gotten so far. But yeah, I'm doing this one more pencil pass on this page, and then I'll start setting up the next one. And then once all these pages are penciled, I'm going to start doing the inking. And then this time when I do the inking, I'm going to do the inking and the gray toning in one shot. Before I was doing like pencils, inks, and then go back and gray tone all of it. This time I'm going to be doing it inks and then gray tone, so the pages will be artly wise done one right after another. And then I'll do the lettering and the editing. So I should have this one ready for print. I think to save bet would be it's going to be ready by September, because the editing process can take a bit, and then there's the lettering process, and then I've got to put 3 and 4 into a graphic novel because I'm not doing floppies anymore because those are just dead pretty much. So I'm going to be I'll get the graphic novels ready for 3 and 4. And then so by this September, I should have the first arc in people's hands that want to read it. Also, if you check out my description, my link tree is in there of this video. And on my link tree, you can find, if you go to Global Comics, you can read issue 1 digitally if you like digital. And if you haven't checked out Global Comics, I highly recommend it. Global Comics is an amazing digital app. Image Comics are on there. DC Comics are on there. Dark Horse is on there, as well as a large amount of indie books. So you can get your mainstream and your indie all in one place. To go for you can read it for free, but of course some of the stuff is limited, or you can get a subscription, which is only I think it's like $9 a month or something like that, and it just opens up all the comics to you. Sig and Joe issue 1 is on there. Issue 2 will be on there here soon, and so will the Squirrels That Saved Longview. And I'm going to start putting all of my work digitally onto Global Comics. So if you check out that link, and go check out Global Comics if you like reading comics digitally. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, DD. That's awesome. Yeah, and hopefully soon I'll have I'm thinking about just doing a Gumroad or an eBay store. I'm not exactly sure which or both maybe as a way to get my physical book. So that way you can just go there and click order, and then I can get copies to people. I have issue 1 on my TikTok store, but TikTok is kind of its own universe, so I don't know how many people are actually on there. And if you find me on there through like my link tree, my TikTok, you'll find the store and the comic. All my comics are in there. And then also I'll have Global Comics, and I need to get one more site so people can go and say, hey, when they say, hey, I want to buy Sig and Joe, I can, or we're cut work, I can just say, yeah, go to my Gumroad. Think about doing a Gumroad again. Just some kind of like easy web page to sell my book. Or all my books actually. I even have a coloring book done too. I want to do another coloring book, but right now, Squirrel's book is the big after Sig and Joe 4, the Squirrel book, and then Sig and Joe's next arc. And also, I have a Santa Claus one shot that I want to do too, a Santa Claus story that's 24 pages. So I'm going to probably knock that out too as I'm getting the arc for Sig and Joe ready. Because the difference with the second arc, was it Gumroad? Or am I saying that wrong? Gumroad is like, I think it's like if I'm saying it right, I might be saying Gumroad wrong. But I think it's called Gumroad. It's kind of like a website hosting place where you can sell products, but you don't. It's free. I mean, it's real basic, but it's free, and you could put products up on there, and they'll do payment processing. So if you wanted to buy an issue of Sig and Joe, you just go on there, put into the cart, and you can buy it, and then Gumroad will collect what they need and send it to me, and then I can send you the book. So it's essentially like a little, I guess the easiest way to put it, it's like a free website hosting place. Oh yeah, lurk all you want. No worries, DD. I appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to be doing this every Sunday at 8:30 Pacific Standard or West Coast time. I plan to stream for a couple hours and then call it. So I'll probably finish this page and get ready to start working on the next one. Oh, come here. We have a guest. Oh, the doggy bear. Yay. Yeah, this is my brother's dog. I live with my brother and his wife. We share a 2-story duplex. And this is their dog, Bear. Say hi, Bear. He's a little Chihuahua. We think Chihuahua and Terrier mix. Oh, yeah. Get comfortable, Betty. There you go, buddy. All right. I'm actually used to holding him while I draw because he does this sometimes. So. Yeah, Bear's a year old, and he's not going to get much bigger than this. He's a little guy. I tried to get a dog myself, but I'm so damn busy, and puppies require a lot Oh, hey, what's up, Dirk? How you doing? Hey, sorry I couldn't get back to you earlier. I was making dinner, and then I was prepping for the stream. I apologize for that. I hope you're doing good tonight, Dirk. But yeah, I try to get a dog of my own, and puppies require a lot of love and attention. And I was so busy. And then a lady who lives close to my parents in the same apartment complex is going to have to put down her Chihuahua, and she was pretty upset about it. So I was like, "Hey, I got this little pup, and I really, I love him, but I can't take care of him. Would you like him?" And she scooped him up right away, and now he's living high on the hog with her, and it's helping cushion the impact for her for losing her dog. So I'm just glad the little guy found a loving home. I wish I could have kept him, but I'm just so busy. But yeah, working on this here. Um, I've got the script next to me, and I'm trying to. No, I don't have the dog anymore. I gave it to this nice lady who was losing hers, so it was just better for the puppy. I couldn't give the puppy attention that needed. I was essentially dumping him off with everybody else while I was working. I was working two jobs at the time, and when I found out about that lady, I was just like, "Hey, ma'am, would you like a free puppy? Because I heard you were going to have to be putting down yours." And she scooped him up right away, no problem. And I just saw him the other day, and he's living high on the hog right now. He's enjoying life. She's spoiling the shit out of him. So that's all I really cared about was the dog was taken care of. And it was dumb of me to think that I could balance that kind of responsibility at this time period. I don't have time to barely do anything, let alone raise a dog. Kind of reason why I'm more of a cat person, just because cats raise themselves. You just got to show them where they have to, shit over here, eat here, water here, and then cats are good. So, um, I had to. I'll just have to wait till I have a better spot to do that. It kind of sucks though too, because it's like having a pet is nice. Things feel a little less lonely that way. But you need to be able to have to be responsible and realize when you can take care of it or not. If you can't take care of it, then you shouldn't have it because it's not fair to the animal. Hey, what's up, Pete? Hopefully soon, Miss Sparkles. Hopefully soon. Wonder, hold on a second here. Can I? How do I make you a moder? How do I make people moderators? Can I do that while the stream's going on, or do I have to do that? Community moderation. Let's see here. Live chat on. This is the day for this channel. There we go. All right, Pete, I just made you a moderator. And Miss Sparkles, you are now moderator also. I didn't know that you guys knew each other. That's awesome. Yep, you are a mod. You have the wrench. The power. Wield it wisely, please. Yeah, when I move out to my own place, which should be end of the year, depending. I plan to go to the shelter and pick up a shelter cat. I like going to shelter animals. We got to go to one of those Renaissance festivals that you were talking about there, Miss Sparkles. Because now that I'm just down to one job, I'm starting to get a better handle on things, and I should have some more time freed up so I can do stuff. Right now, it's just like I was having a problem, and this is part of comic book making, is that I was feeling like super rushed, like I was falling way behind, and it was really kind of driving me nuts. So I kind of just took a deep breath and kind of reorganized and kind of was like, okay, well, I'm not going to put. Of course, we're going to hang out. But come on now. I just trying to get my life in order and figure things out right now. I don't really have much free time. Or I don't do really much anything, and right now I'm working almost 7 days a week doing this estate sale stuff. So it's just all just trying to get into a rhythm and get everything kind of figured out. But we will hang out. I still need to get you artwork too. Ha! I think I'll do that next week, Miss Sparkles. When I do the Sunday night draw and bring you on, I will draw your picture while we're chatting and the live stream's going. I'll draw your picture on the live stream. You wanted something aggressively adorable, I believe. MSK, what's up? Be careful, MSK. I made Miss Sparkles a moderator, so she has the power of the wrench. Oh, okay. I see. I shouldn't be surprised it's MSK. Now, um, when you told me adorable, aggressive character, yeah, I instantly thought of Stitch. So I might draw you a Stitch, especially with the movie going out doing awesome right now. It would be great for the algorithm too. So you might be getting a Stitch drawing from me, Miss Sparkles. If you guys get a chance, add and subscribe to Pete Vasquez, who's in the chat. I'm live right now. Thank you, though. Subscribe to Pete Vasquez. He goes live on Monday. He does a lot of drawing on Twitch. And follow Pete Vasquez. Great artist, good friend of mine. And he puts out some awesome stuff. I'm like a comic book artist. Like I do sequentials and I write and draw comics. That's like my main thing. Pete is an artist. He does paints, he does acrylics, he does chalk, he does pencils, he does the whole smorgasbord. So check out Pete Vasquez if you get a chance to. And Pete, you are a mod, so if you want to throw your link in the chat, feel more than free to. Same thing with you, Miss Sparkles. You can throw your link into the chat. And give me a second, MSK, and I will link your channel in the chat as well. Or if Miss Sparkles, if you could please link to MSK's channel, that would be much appreciated. Yeah, anyone watching, Sparkles, MSK, Pete, they all have channels. They all put out content. So just subscribe and like to them and catch all the cool stuff they're up to. All right, I'm still live. Okay. And don't forget to link to your own, Miss Sparkles. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we'll go with that one. That way I'm a little bit bigger. Here. Okay. I used to stream just showing the art, but apparently people like to watch the person, even though it's like you're essentially seeing the top of my head most of the time. Maybe I'll just draw you a baby Yoda. And you'd have to take it because it's artwork for me. And you don't want to hurt my feelings. So that means you'd have to put up a baby Yoda up on your wall. I'm not going to because that would be mean, but it is kind of funny. Yeah. One thing about making comics is that How can you think Baby Yoda is evil? He's adorable. But one thing about with comics or making comics, when it comes to process, um, I when I did issue one, I was essentially I didn't even have a script down on paper. I knew roughly what I wanted to do, and I just kind of went for it. And I made a lot of mistakes. It took a lot of time, and it ended up taking a lot longer than it should to get it finished. When I did issue two, I started scripting more. I started doing a little more character drawings, so I wasn't just designing characters as I was making pages. Issue three, I did full character sheets where the sheets of the characters, guns, their weapons, their clothes, their accessories, all of it. And having that has been so helpful with the process because there I'm not like figure like when I don't find out like oh shit on page 25 I didn't draw the shoes right because I forgot how I designed them on page 5. So now I got to go back to page 25 and correct it, and it can take up a lot of time. So issue 4 was everything kind of done, character design, script was like the 95% done, and then I did the layouts and finalized the script, and it's been a much smoother process and it looks better. So that's kind of where I'm working at now. When I do the next arc, I'm planning to do essentially map out all the issues of the arc, get everything figured out, all of the character designs, the storyline beats. So then that way I can better weave some stuff together, where it's like stuff that happened in issue 1 is felt on issue 4 kind of deal, and there's more cohesion to the story. It goes from point A, B to C in a much more of a steady pattern, and much more sure of itself. Like I could easily redo issue 1 and 2 and probably turn it into one issue, which I'm kind of doing with the graphic novel. But what I mean is I could have done things a lot better when it came to showing and telling. Um, but it's lessons learned. I mean, you can keep going back and redoing it over and over again, try and make it perfect, and then never put out anything at all. So I'm going. The next arc is going to be really well planned out before I jump into it, and I'm going to be doing it in bigger chunks. Because I'm doing graphic novels now. I'm staying away from floppies, so I'm going to be doing stuff in more like, if it's like 200 pages for the next arc, I'm going to try to do like the first 100, or maybe even do all 200 in order, and just try to knock the whole thing out. If I could draw every day, not have to do anything else, where I'm working, 8 hours a day on comics, I could be putting out, you know, probably three 200-page, well, probably two 200-page graphic novels in a year. Pretty close. Maybe, yeah, maybe 200, maybe 200 is too much. But I'll be have a good chunk of the second 200 done by the end of the year, I think. But I love Sig and Joe, so I'm going to continue doing it for as long as I love doing it. I learned so much by making this book. I tell people that this comic book is essentially like my college course. I started off just like, okay, I need to finish one issue, if anything. So like I have to finish an arc, and then now it just keeps going. There came a point when I was making comics where um, I don't even want to call it breaking point, or if you're going to quit, it's going to be at this point now. And I got to that point, and I just pushed through to where now I can't see myself not making comics. Like I'm going to make comics until I die, or just can't physically make them anymore. This is this is pretty much my life now. I love doing this so much that I can't see myself doing anything else. I just want to dedicate the last that I can to it. I just want to dedicate everything to trying to perfect it and just tell my stories and get it going, no matter how difficult it is sometimes. Isolating it can be. There's a lot of toxic stuff in the community, but none of it means anything when I'm sitting here drawing my comic book and bringing to get life these goofy little adventures that I got floating around in my head. I need to be doing here. Oh, you like Miss Sparkles likes listening to me talk. Thank you. Yeah, this is what I want to do. Like if I didn't even have to work a day job, I wouldn't. If I could just do this. Like I despise well, I used to despise social media, but now I just see it more as the useful tool it is, and I'm starting to meet more people on it, and I'm starting to rebuild from what I had before. Oh, thank you very much, Miss Sparkles. Thank you. It's been a lot of hard work. This is you're seeing the my 10,000 hours of time trying to learn how to master this stuff. I really do appreciate you saying that though, because it's nice to hear. Ha! That's right, my future wife. But yeah, this is it. Now, I'm introducing dab drones in this first arc, and it's essentially Dab's main fighting tool. The more powerful they get, the more sophisticated they're looking. There's going to be some different kinds of dab drones that Sig and Joe are going to have to fight. In the next arc, we're going to meet Rex. And Rex is a leader of this desert gang army called the Children of Rex. And every evil underground black market thing that happens on in the waste can is essentially controlled by Rex. And Rex is essentially um, a mercenary for the Dab Corporation. So in the next arc, we're going to meet Rex, and he's going to come into Sig and Joe's world with a sledgehammer, and we're going to get to meet a lot more characters of the world. There's going to be some more world building. I'm going to be introducing a new character that actually was inspired by Pete Vasquez's work that he did for me. He essentially helped design the chowder squid that you see in issue 1. And I now have a full design for the squid. And I also have a design for a new character. And she will be introduced in the next arc. And that's going to be a fun storyline there with some good character and world building kind of stuff in that one. I'm excited to introduce her to all of you guys because she was a character that kind of spawned out of what Pete did, the work that Pete did for me, and me and Pete talking. And then from there, um, it, uh, it gave birth to this character because a lot of my writing process comes, inspiration from movies or from music or from situations, and then my mind will start hitting, and then I'll come up with a character. And she is a character that I'm excited to bring in. We've got Rex and his lieutenants. We've got Lily, who's a sniper. We've got Jack Dandelion, Dandy, or Jack Dandelion. Oh yeah, Jack. I think Jack Dandelion, and he's going to be kind of a major character. He's one of the lieutenants. He's one of the captains for Rex. And then also we've got this another little character buddy of his. I forgot the name of him. But yeah, I can't wait to introduce that character. Some of the characters that were in issue 1. The bandits that they were fighting, Sig and Joe. They're going to be making their return, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's going to be in the future for Sig and Joe. I also have another fantasy book that I'm going to be working on next year. And that one is a fun fantasy adventure that mixes sci-fi with fantasy. So that'll be coming out next year sometime. But everything's going to be done in graphic novel sizes now. I'm not doing floppies. So, I'll do, a graphic novel of Sig and Joe. Then I'll do one of another story, like a one shot or along those lines. And then I'll do another Sig and Joe one. And then I'll do another story because I've got a few stories rambling around in my head, ideas for that I'm going to start developing. And then I'll just do in between Sig and Joe graphic novels. Oh, thank you, Miss Sparkles. I usually have it up, but lately I've been just keeping it down and letting it go. And this is me barely doing anything to it. This is like naturally curly. Okay. So let's take a look at this page. Okay. So we're not. Let's see here. This is, yeah, this page is pretty much ready for inks. So save your work. And then we'll go to page 30. We'll get some work done on that before I close up stream. Page, oh, it's a double page spread, so it's going to be page 30 and 31. This one was another one that I have redone. Wait, I forgot. I got to do this over here. So combine those two. I always label my layers when I get the pencils done and inks. Pencils. Labeling your layers helps out when you're deep into it and you've got like 60 to 100 layers on here. It's just better to have somewhat organized. You want to pet me? Actually, that sounds kind of nice. Just tell me everything's going to be okay. That I've done a good job. Oh, let's see here. Save a regular, save a JPEG, and then let's see here. Okay. So this is the rough of the robot freaking out. And then that is panel there. We'll drop you down to 20 and start a new layer. Okay. So you guys can get to see how it goes from this stage into finished pencil stage. It used to take me a couple times to get the pencils right, but now I can pretty much do it in maybe 1 to 2 passes. One, they shouldn't be sad though. You are right. So what I need to do is that to there. And I need to get rid of you. I want them to be more like, oh shit. There we go. Thank you, Miss Sparkles. That's a little high on the forehead. Okay. I don't like that eye. Actually, I need Sig looking kind of like the same way Joe is. There we go. Okay. I'm going to do another pass over this to tighten this up, but this is a lot better. Is the music getting glitchy? Let's see here. Let's try to find something else here in the copyright free area. Might be my internet too, who knows. Plus, my music's coming through the microphone, so that might be another reason why it's getting glitchy. Like, I don't have it opened up in a window playing through the StreamYards. because I'm using StreamYards on this. Okay, now let's do another pass on the pencils up here. Turn that off. Been learning how to try to use speed lines better. Studying a lot of manga for that one. All right. So now I'm going to turn that layer off. Work on this part. Yeah, this is what 7 years of practice. I've gotten a lot quicker than I used to be. I just have to be careful that I don't work so quick that I'm not putting in enough detail as I should be, but I'm getting a pretty good balance. Okay. Yeah, I'm working this quick, and I'm holding a dog. Oh, it's okay, buddy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. What is it, buddy, huh? You're very cuddly today. But yeah, we're coming up here on the 2 hour mark. So I'm going to wrap this up here pretty soon. This has been a really good stream. I feel really good about it. Thank you for the people who stopped by. Gigasten, Pete Vasquez, Miss Sparkles, MSK. Thank you all. And anyone who's watching it afterwards, I will be back next Sunday. Let me switch over to here to do a proper closeout. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to be back next Sunday. I'm going to be doing this every Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Probably just keep out with the 8:30 p.m. I just start at 8:30. I could go to 10:30. Nah, I'm just going to go to 10. I feel really good about the stream. And I want to thank everyone who stopped by. Follow my link tree to find me on Facebook and Twitter. Either one of those places, you can DM me to or message me in order to get a copy of my comic book. Check me out next week. at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I will be on here, and if she's available with Miss Sparkles, and I'll be drawing on my drawing desk, working on a drawing for her. So that should be a fun time, us talking and hanging out while I draw her a picture of Stitch. Maybe a picture of Stitch choking Baby Yoda to death since she hates Baby Yoda so much. So we'll work on I'll work on that for her while she's on the stream next week. Like and subscribe to the channel to for more content coming forward, and I'm going to work really hard and try really hard to stay on here. Also, catch me on the MSK show. Miss Sparkles, if you open the chat, Miss Sparkles left a link to MSK's channel. You can find me on there Wednesdays and Fridays, sometimes Thursdays, but mostly on Wednesdays and Fridays. For Wednesday for his panel show, and Thursday or Friday for me and him doing reviews, comic reviews, and also comic reviews and topics talking about pop culture, movies, along those lines. So make sure you check me out on there. Make sure you like and subscribe his channel. Miss Sparkles has a channel. Pete Vasquez has a channel. Check everybody out, and they're all creating cool stuff. And thank you again, Miss Sparkles, for the help on putting the link up and for hanging out and being talking with me while I did this. And maybe we can hook up next week on here, and I can draw you a Stitch beating up Baby Yoda picture, and while we have fun. And you guys all have a good night, but I'm going to cut it off now and head to bed. So you guys have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful evening. And good night.